What's happening, people? Welcome to Thursday night's football on Riley's Talk. So we're gonna just get straight right into it. So tonight's matchup, it's a pretty decent matchup, at least from what I've seen the past couple of weeks on Thursday night football. It's been a lot of toilet bowl matchups. I mean, some games I just couldn't stand to watch for a full 60 minutes of professional football. But tonight's game is kind of intriguing, even though the matchups on paper does not say that. So before you do anything else, do me a favor, as usual, hit the like and subscribe button at the bottom of the page. So let's get right into it. The matchups. The Las Vegas Raiders versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, what's so funny about this? These are two teams that do not deserve to even be in their home market. I mean, the Raiders, they belong to Oakland and, for the most part, LA as well. The Chargers, they belong to San Diego. I mean, the Chargers are the fifth most popular team in Los Angeles. I mean, that's sad to be a professional football team in one city that you're pretty much not even paid attention to. But this is the matchup that we have for tonight. It is not a bad one if you look at the stats, if you research it a little bit. So again, let's cut straight into it. We're going to start off with the Raiders offense. Now, the Raiders are coming in with a 7-6 record, and they are fighting for their playoff lives. Now, they're currently the 9th seed. Now, keep in mind, this year's playoffs, normally there are 6 seeds in the AFC and the NFC, but this year they decided to add one extra team. So, normally there is 2 buys. The first and the second seed get a bye to the second weekend, but this year only one team gets a bye. So right now, currently the Raiders are sitting right now at the number 9 seed. They are behind the 8th seed Miami Dolphins, and they are behind the 7th seed Miami Dolphins. They're behind the 8th seed Baltimore Ravens. They are number 9. So right now, they're currently the number 9 seeded, expanded playoffs for this year for the 17s. Now let's get to their offense. The Raiders are a quintessential middle of the road team. They have the 14th ranked total offense. Also, they have the 14th passing offense and the 12th rushing offense. So neither one of those offensive categories as a team are the top notch of the league, but it's not bad either. And also on tonight's slides and stuff like that, we're more so going to focus on the individual teams instead of the individual players, because this particular game will come down to who has the best team, not necessarily the best players. So let's get into the Raiders defense. The Raiders have the 25th ranked total defense. It is by far and away at the bottom barrel of the entire league, and that's been their Achilles heel all year. As you can see, I wrote that down here. On top of that, the Raiders are the 25th or the 26th in almost every major defensive category. I mean, it really doesn't matter what you look up. They are the bottom barrel of the league when it comes to defense. So we're going to get into the Chargers real quickly. Now, the Chargers have a 4-9 record. They really have nothing to lose. Now, with that 4-9 record with the Jets and the Jaguars pretty much battling out for the first pick in the NFL draft this year, plus a couple other 2 and 3 win teams, the Chargers are that middle of the road type team when it comes to losses and wins. They're not gonna get the first or second seed. They're more so in the 7th, 8th, maybe at best case scenario, 5th seed. So they're not gonna get that big time college player that's gonna come in and change their franchise. So on top of that, they have the 8th ranked total offense with the 4th ranked passing offense. Now, to me personally, this was a surprise. I did not realize until after I did my research that the Chargers are that good passing. Now, this is a small Achilles heel of them. They have the 16th ranked run offense. Now, the NFL has 32 teams, so that means they are dead smack in the middle of their ranked run offense. So it's not bad, but it's not the greatest in the world. It could be better. But again, let's go back to this 4th ranked passing offense. That surprises me, especially with the quarterbacks they have and things of that nature. The receivers, you won't find them on the top notch of most of your fantasy rankings for those of you that play fantasy football. But guess what? If you look a little bit deep in detail into the numbers, their offense is not that bad. So Now, let's get into the Chargers defense. Again, another surprise for me. They have the 9th ranked total defense in the entire NFL. But more importantly, because the Raiders have a decent pass offense, the Chargers have a 7th ranked pass offense. So, I mean, the way I look at it is this. The Raiders are definitely, with Derek Carr, they're going to come in this game, try to throw the ball. But the Chargers aren't bitches. They aren't bitches. They have a decent secondary. They're not bad when it comes to the passing. Now, their biggest Achilles heel is the 20th ranked rush defense. Now, that is below this number 16 line in the NFL. So, with Josh Jacobs on the Raiders, in my opinion, they are going to try to exploit this. And this is the Las Vegas Raiders' best chance of winning this game tonight. So, let's go to our next slide real quickly. Here are your keys to victories for both teams. Minimize turnovers, and this is very key. It is very key. The Raiders are -5. They have a -5 plus-minus differential on turnovers. So basically, they have committed 5 more turnovers than they've made the other team commit. So they are -5 at that. Now, the Chargers are bad in this area as well, but they are better than the Raiders. So they are only at -1. So the team, in my opinion, with the least amount of turnovers will win this game tonight. And so backtrack for a second. The Chargers, if you look at their offense and if you look at their defense, this is actually, statistically speaking, a pretty decent team. They're not bad. But the problem that they have is they cannot hold on to the damn ball. And like I said, the team with the least amount of turnovers will win the game tonight. So the last one is time of possession. I mean, that goes without saying, right? If you have the ball and the other team does not have the ball, they cannot score as long as you don't turn the ball over. So time of possession, I hate bringing up time of possession because to me it's kind of duh. Let's just get past that part. So let's go to our next slide. Here are your key matchups. Can the Raiders' 14th ranked offense do just enough against the Chargers' 20th ranked defense? On top of that, can the Raiders' defense stop anything? The last 2 weeks, I've watched both Raiders games. They played the Bills last weekend, and the week before that, they played the Jets. Now, let's go back to the Jets game. We all saw it. Again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, as I said last week, but in my opinion, I don't know what happened. Who cares? But I think that somebody from the top management called down and said, lose this game. The way the Raiders lost that game, they gave up numerous yards to the Jets. The Jets are by far and away one of the worst NFL professional teams I have ever seen in my 39 years on this earth. But they are still professionals at that, but it was just a horrible game. The Raiders gave up touchdowns, passing, rushing, special teams. It did not matter. So again, can the Raiders' 14th ranked offense do just enough against the Chargers' 20th ranked run defense? I'm sorry that I did not put that in there. But that's where the Raiders have to key in on the Chargers. Josh Jacobs has to have a big game tonight for the Raiders to win this game. And again, can the Raiders stop anything? So let's go to our next. So for those of you that are gambling tonight, I know everybody does not do this, but I get my betting lines personally from Rivers Casino. So let's start up here at the spread. The Raiders are predicted to win this game tonight by 3 points. So if you are betting on the Raiders, guess what? You need to pretty much bet 4 points because there is no half line tonight. So if this game was to go, let's just say 24-21 Raiders, guess what? That's a push. So a push is a fancy line, pretty much just saying it's a tie. So if you're betting on the Raiders, you need them to win by 4 points. Now on the flip side of that, the Chargers are at +3. So the Chargers can win one of 2 ways. If the Chargers win outright, which is, we're going to get to that in a second, it's the money line as well. The Chargers win outright, they win the game. But if the Raiders win by 2 or 1 points, then if you bet on the Chargers, that also means you win as well. So let's get to the money line. The Raiders are at -$167. So you need to bet $167 just to get you need to bet $167 just to win 100. Also, the Chargers are at plus 145. So if you put up $100, guess what? You win your $100 back if the Chargers win outright, plus an extra $145. So that would make you have a profit of $145 plus your $100 back, which is $245. Now, excuse me, I know a lot of people watching this video, you may understand the spread lines, but keep in mind that not everybody understands the spread, the money line, and the over-under. Just about 2 years ago, guess what? I did not understand it. So let's help out the newbies here. Lastly, you have the over-under. So what this means pretty much basically is that the combined score of both teams needs to be at 53 or above, because you see we have this half point here. There is no such thing as a 52.5 football game. So if you take the over, you basically need these two teams combined for 53 points. If you take the under, then it needs to be 52 or less. So that's pretty much how the gambling is going for tonight. To our next slide. So here we go. My predictions. Chargers will win the turnover battle. Again, as I showed you in the earlier slide, the Chargers are at -1. That basically means that they have caused less turnovers, -1 times, than they've committed. So they are better in the turnover ratio than the Raiders. So in my opinion, the Chargers will win the turnover battle. What will make this game competitive tonight? Normally this would not be a competitive game, but two things make it competitive. Number one, the Raiders are fighting for their playoff lives. I mean, they can get in still. They can possibly get in. I don't see it happening, but they can. But reverse that, the Chargers are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. But guess what? Again, they're not playing for the number one seed. Excuse me, not seed. They're not playing for the number one draft pick. They're more so going to be somewhere along the lines of between number 5 and 10. So the professionals in them will show up tonight. The Chargers will come to play. I personally expect a highly entertaining football game. Both teams have something to play for, but at the same time, one team can kind of submit to the other one if they choose to, but you're going to see that in the game. The final score, I have it 28-24. Now, for those who are gambling, especially on the other under, if you do the math, 28-24 is 52 points. Me personally, I am leaving the over-under alone tonight. Now, depending upon who you're picking, whether the Raiders or the Chargers, you have a chance to win on the spread, plus at the same time the money line. But the final score, 28-24. Now here's the thing, most people are betting with the Raiders. That's where all the gambling money going. But the smart money, in my opinion, Chargers. The Chargers are statistically the better team. It's almost like kind of like in about a year or two, the Chargers might be one of the top teams in the AFC. They might contend with the doggone, what's their name? The Kansas City Chiefs. So I have a Chargers win in a slight upset. It's not as big of an upset as a lot of people might think it will be. So that's my pick. So long story short, thanks you for listening to Riley's Talk. Do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button. And guess what? I'll see you later. And do me a favor also, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.